It's merge time for Survivor 45. It's been a season so far with a high highs and low lows. You can't deny that two quits have put a damper on a season with a otherwise eager group of players. Luckily, the highs so far have been very entertaining. Especially the Sabaya, Brando and J Maya vote were memorable, to say the least. The season has done some interesting things, like the first tribe swap from the new era, which kept the pre-merge fresh and exciting despite the quits. Now that we are full on in the merge, I'm excited to see what these 12 remaining players have in store for us. But first, it might be interesting to see who's in the best and worst spot going forward. Even though Reba lost a member with J Maya at the Mergatory Tribal, I do feel like Bello will lose the Reba-Bello war. Emily is already aligned with them and Bruce went after Caleb. Number 1 Bello target on the Reba-Lulu alliance has to be Bruce. Uncle Bruce is loud, boisterous and very dominating. He's fun to watch, but to work in the game, he's a handful. I expect him to be strong in the challenges, and when people are coming for him, who's going to put up a fight for him? Katora will send him out with a smile, Kelly will see the writing on the wall, and so will most likely Jake. Kendra might put up a fight, but I doubt it will be enough. Bruce, his only lifeline is his immunity idol. It might save his ass, but honestly, somehow I expect Uncle Bruce to go home with an idol in his pocket. He seems that kind of player. Sifa was not mentioned at all during the Purgatory Tribal. That doesn't mean he's in a solid spot. Sifu might think he's good, but he still doesn't realize that Reba will not shed a tear if he goes. Like Bruce, he is loud and doesn't play a subtle game. He's also strong in challenges, which will make him a target. Most importantly, besides Reba, he has seemingly no connections. Even his own Reba tribemate will cut him easily. So when they do come for Sifu, who will have his back? Most likely, no one. Honestly, I did not expect to put Caleb this low. After episode 5, I was ready to put him on spot number 2. But you can't deny what happened during the Mergatory episode. He is saying and doing the right things, but people see through him. It's like a salesman with the perfect pitch that makes sense, but you know you'll be paying more at the end of the day.
You're nothing but a silver-tongued snake oil salesman.
Caleb will always be a target, even after his amazing shot in the dark. The first time somebody played the shot in the dark successfully to save themselves. I think Caleb is good for a few tribals for as long as the Reba-Bello war rages on, but after that, he'll be popping up again on the target radar. Players like Caleb are just not allowed to get to the end no more, because there's such obvious threats. At best, I can see Caleb getting to the final 5 to be cut just before the final. Just like Ricard, just like Omar, just like Jesse. Kendra got the wrong end of the stick in episode 5. Now at the merge, she is reunited with her Bello allies. As I said, I expect Bello to lose the war with Reba, which bodes badly for Kendra. I don't really see Kendra as a player that can pivot easily. She holds a grudge against Emily for the Brando vote, and I don't see her gelling with Reba either. To make things worse, if Bruce gets targeted but uses idol, Kendra could be a likely backup target. I could see Kendra getting the wrong end of the stick once again, but this time leading to her exit. D should be in a good spot. I expect Caleb and Emily to join Reba, giving them the numbers. That being said, D has shown to be a rather impulsive player that's very trigger happy. Despite Sean wanting to quit, she chose to vote for Sifu anyways. Now, luckily J Maya took the bullet, but it's an example of D thinking more short term than long term. To me, D is an example of these new era players that are so eager to pull off blindsides that they lose track of the bigger picture. I expect this to be the downfall of D eventually. Another Bello tri-mate that will be pushed into a corner if Bello loses the Bello-Reba war. I do have confidence enough in Jake that he will see the writing on the wall and will not go under with the sinking ship. Whether how long he survives depends on how he pivots whenever Bello does go under. If he can make connection with Lulu or Reba, then he might last, but I'm not putting a ton of stock in that, to be honest. Also, let's not forget, he experienced 2 seizures which were shown during the episodes. Why would they show this if it would not matter eventually? Therefore, I would not be surprised if Jake gets medevaced at some point. Keturah is an odd one. The merge should be an opportunity to reset her game. She seemed to be on the outs on the Bello tribe, being one of the only ones not drinking the Uncle Bruce Kool-Aid. As the merge hits and Bruce might become more of a target, Keturah might jump the Bello ship when presented the opportunity. She has made a connection with Caleb, and my advice for Keturah would be to link up with Caleb and Emily. If she does, she could go far. If not, she might see herself running out of allies and options to move forward. Julie feels like a floater at this point. She's in the core Reba alliance, but I don't know how much agency she has in that core 4. She could turn it in her favor though, as she won't be #1 target if Reba gets targeted. On the flip side, she could be a backup target if, for example, Austin or Drew are not available because of advantages. If Julie wants to last, she'll have to make connections outside of Reba, but I don't know if she can do that. Austin and Drew are steering the ship at Reba, and if Reba does win the Bello-Reba war, then Austin is looking solid. He's strong in challenges, very likable, and is holding several advantages between him and Drew. So I don't see Austin going anytime soon, but what makes his position so strong right now is what eventually will make him a target as well. The strong young athlete archetype usually makes it far, but just as often gets targeted because the danger of comping out is always present. Just like many in Reba, he'll have to make connection outside of Reba to survive when he eventually does get targeted. Drew is in a very similar spot as Austin. He seems to be running Reba and has several advantages that he can use with Austin. Drew has been using the strategy of sharing information about advantages to create connections. Usually this would leave him open to blindside, but so far it's been going well for him. People like him and seem to trust him. Why I put Drew one spot above Austin is because Austin is more of a physical threat than Drew and should be targeted before Drew. Austin is the perfect shield for him. As long as Austin is in the game, Drew should be good. When Austin is gone, Drew should start to worry. Of all of Bello, Kelly is by far the strongest player and poised to make it the furthest. She is well encapsulated within Bello and has made connection outside of Bello. So whenever Bello does fall apart, she has connections to pivot. She's also strong in challenges and is liked by many. She seems to have a mind for this game, to keep a backseat and let other people, like Bruce, be a shield for her. At the same time, she knows when to strike. A lot of game is left to be played where a lot can go right, but a lot can go wrong as well. That being said, I would not be surprised if Kelly ends up as our winner of Survivor 45. Now, as much as I like Kelly's chances, I have to put Emily on #1. I'll admit, a big part of this is that she's my favorite player so far. The way she came into the season coming at Bruce on the starting mat, she played way too hard, way too fast, and her game seemed over before it began. She lucked out with the Hannah quit and made the most of her second chance. She found a ride or die in Caleb that is not only loyal to her, but is also a shield for her. Well, as long as he doesn't play another shot in the dark, that is, because she felt the heat at the revote during the Mergatory Tribal. But the fact that she unanimously survived the vote against Jeremiah proves the strong position she has. I don't see her targeted anytime soon, barring some advantage shenanigans. At the same time, she has a good mind for the game and has found a good balance on playing the strategy game and the social game. It would be quite the story if she wins Survivor 45, but to do that, she still has some work ahead of her, like disassembling Bello and Reba. I'll be back at the final 5 for another power ranking just before the final. Will it be Emily, Kelly, or somebody else? We'll see it in the coming weeks. Until next time.
Find out what happens next. That's right, it's a literal cliffhanger. Ah!